Hey guys, good evening. Am I audible or not? Can you guys please quickly confirm? Okay. So so today is our special class. In this particular class, we will be solving some problem that are already been discussed in the class. Some of the problems are already been discussed, and some of the problems that will be new. All right. So and today's class is basically oriented to the problem solving with the loops, and the next class would be also a special class. It would be much more oriented to the problem solving to the arrays. I hope am I clear up to this point, right? Okay. Okay. So some of the problems that will be already been discussed in the class. Okay. So will be revised those problems that are already been discussed, and those who have not attended those class. For those people also, this will be a somewhat like revision also, and some problem that will be new. All right, in this class, so you will be ultimately learning something you already know, something you will be learning new. All right, so make sure of that. So on that note, let me share my screen of OneNote. Yes, before that, anything that you want me to discuss from the past classes that we have already been discussed? After this two special class, our plan is to move to the 2D arrays that we already know seen in the arrays class, right? So arrays can be of two types, like single dimension and multi-dimension. So we will be working through the multi-dimension in the next class, right? Why is it special class, Ekta? Because this course curriculum has been designed in a way that see, from the past couple of lectures, I think so you are bombarded with a lot of topics, lot of new topics, lot of new concepts, right? So this class is basically for digest those particular things. Okay. So it's like we have run so fast, now will just stay at a particular point and we'll just breathe calmly. Okay. Then again we will run fast, again we will stop, breathe, we'll do revision classes, extra classes, all this kind of things. All right. So we'll basically, we don't have to rush, because if we rush to something, then those particular information, those particular classes be anyway got get lost in your mind. Okay, so I don't want that. Whether we we shift our classes like one or two, right? That's fine with me, but I don't want that any from you go out understanding without understanding those kind of concepts. Okay, so those are my motto. All right. So on that note, Nishana, please refresh your page. I think so that is that is issue with your point, not mine. I think because mine is pretty good. Okay. Breaking even. Still is breaking. Okay. All right. Still is breaking for everyone. How about now? Is it okay? Is it okay? If this persists, then let me know. I'll just have a word with team, because this is like repeated issue. But am I audible now? Am I audible now? Okay, just give me a moment. Just give me a moment. I think so. There's something wrong with this. Just give me a minute. 1 minute only. There is something wrong with the platform, I guess so. Okay, I hope it's fine now. It's fine now. Okay, so let's begin our class. All right. Can you see the OneNote screen? Can you see the OneNote screen? Okay. For a few minutes, like for again for a few minutes, I'll be in the like I'll be looking into the chat so that I can see whether you can listen to me or not. All right. But after that, I will not be able to see your chat section. All right. So now, now the question is, I think so. I have closed that. Can you see it? Okay. Okay. All right. All right. Cool. Yeah. Okay. Thanks. So yeah, now I'm sharing with the OneNote screen to all of you. Once let me know once you can see it. It's visible now. Any problem now? No. Cool. ठीक है. All right. So yeah, I think so. That was some issue. I don't know what it was. Anyway, you can see my OneNote screen or my browser also. My browser is visible. No browser. Okay, there's no need of browser also. Right. So let me share one problem to all of you that we have left from the previous deck. All right. So the problem was to find a string which is like to reverse a subarray to sort the array. Right. So the basically the problem was that suppose if you are given with this kind of array, let's say for an example 1 2 1 2 5, then we have 4 and 3, right? So can anyone tell me whether this array is sorted or not? This array has is sorted or not? No, right? It's not sorted, right? But can you see carefully? Can you see carefully? If I reverse this particular sub array like this, 1 2, then this is my sub array. If I reverse that, 3 4 and 5, now it's sorted or not? है ना? Yes. Okay, so you have to figure it out whether if you are given a particular array, in that particular array of numbers you have to find if you reverse a particular array, then uh, can you able to sort the array or not? Okay, that's what the question is, right? Question has been clear to you? Repeat. Okay, Suraj, I'm telling you that this is my question, this is my output, or you can say like this is my output. But in case you don't have to produce this output, you have to just figure it out that if i if I reverse this particular sub array, then can I able to make my array sorted or not? Okay, if you reverse any sub array, then can you able to sort your array or not? Right, this is my question. Suppose for an example, this is my first example. Suppose for an example, if you have your array like this, like one, then two, then let me think what, yeah, yeah. So yeah, You can also take an example like this, that for an example, you have, if you have an array like 1 3 4 10 8 9 8. Okay, so let's say 1 3 4 10 9 8. Okay, so in this particular example, if you reverse this subarray, then can you make your array sorted or not? Let's say if I reverse this particular subarray, then my array is what? 8 9 10. Okay, it's sorted. Yes or no? Right? Yes or no? Everyone? Right? But there's a catch here. Suppose I will take an example like this, that if I have an array like this, like 1 2 3 4, then suppose I have my 20 9 and 8. Okay, is there any possibility that if I'll take any sub array from this, if I'll take any sub array from this particular array, can I make my array sorted or not? Can I make this, which particular subarray, if I'll reverse from this, then I can make my array sorted? 29 8. So if I reverse it, what my output would be? If I reverse this particular subarray, what my output would be? 8 9 and 20. This array would be as it is, 1 2 3 and 4, right? So this is also can be possible, right? Right? Right. But now for an example, if I have a subarray, like this, that uh, 1 2 3 4, then I have my 20, then I have my 9 and 10. Can I make this particular array sorted by any means? If you reverse, you have liberty to reverse any of this subarray. You can choose any subarray from this particular array, and you have to produce output like this: 1 2 3 4 9 10 and 20. Can you do this by anything? You have to just reverse any of the subarray, you know? No, right? I cannot, because suppose if I'll take this, then if I reverse this, what my output would be? 9 20 and 10. Okay, still it will be unsorted, right? Right? No, you cannot do twice. You cannot do it twice, Dishi. Okay? 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 Now, now. So for an example, let's take the simple example. 1 2 5 3 4. Okay, that was our main question, right? 1 2 5 3 and 4. Right? So I'll just give you 5 minutes to think of the logic. Okay? Just give me and just come up with the algorithm by which I can sort this particular array. First of all, can I sort this array or not? If I reverse anything, can I sort this or not? Which subarray I should reverse? Which subarray I should reverse? 534. If I reverse that, what would be my output? If I reverse 534, what would be my output? 435. Is it sorted? No? है ना? So it cannot be sorted, right? Yes or no? Okay? Yes or no? Right? So instead of that, I need to do what? I'll just reverse my question. 5 4 and 3. Now can I do it? है ना? Now I can do it, na? If I reverse this array, then what will be my output? 1 2 3 4 and 5. Right? Right? Okay? Okay? Cool. So I'll just give you 5 minutes to think of. Question is clear to everyone, I guess so. Now it should be clear to everyone. Okay? There is exit 8:26 right now. Will we come back at 8:31 or 32? Right? Okay. Think about the logic and come up with the logic only, not the code. Okay? Because I don't think so you can produce the code in such a less time. Okay? So I'll just drop this particular thing in the chat section also. Suppose I have an array 1 2, then 5 4 3. Okay, 5 4 and 3. Okay, and you need to sort the array. by reversing any subarray. Okay, that should be a question. I have pinned the I have pinned the question array in the chat section. You can see from that. All right. So we'll be come back at 8:32. Okay. Oh, you can do it twice. Navneet, you can just do it for once only, not for twice. All right. Okay. So let's check the logic. Oh, that's great. Many of you have pointed out the logic. First, check the array is sorted or not. If not, then another loop to check the left out of the values reverse sort or not. If yes, then check till which point condition is true. Compare first number smaller than second number. Swap till last number. So Suraj, if we do this, if we just compare the first number to the last number, then how can you decide like which subarray you have to point it out, and which subarray you have to reverse? Okay, first of all, you have to check whether this is possible or not. You know, so it's not true if entirely, Suraj. Anyway, nice try. Binary search to find decreasing part. Try to reverse a subarray. That can be done. That can be done. We need to find the last sorted index and then reverse from the index to the last. Once this is done, we can run the loop to check if the array is completely sorted or not. This is also partially true, Ekta. Great. Check through the array, through the loop, sorted initial value. ठीक है. Okay. Everyone, nice try. Nice try. Nice attempt. Let me tell you where we were lagging. है ना? Now, okay. Like it says, traverse through the array, and if array like first number is greater than the second number, if it's satisfied, then run the loop from the first number to sort the array from the okay till the last element and check with the sorted array. Okay. Now, can I say guys that this is my array, right? Let me just take it fresh array. Okay, this was my array 1 2 5 4 3. This was my question. Now, if I were you, then what I will check? I will just first check. Can you guys please no see here that up to which particular point this is like 1, after 2 that's increasing. Like what do you mean by sort means what? The first number would be the smallest number, then the increased number, then the increased number, then the increased number, and last one would be the largest number, right? This is the definition of sort, right? Now, can I say here like 1, this number should be greater than this number? Can I say that if you sort the array, guys? Hello, है ना? Definitely, right? Okay, this number should be greater than this number, like 5 should be greater than 2 always in order to sort, right? But then after that, I observed that this number 4 is not greater than this, right? Okay. So okay, anyway, this number is my decreased after this, right? So up to this point my array was increasing, right? Up to this point my array was increasing order, right? ठीक है. After this I need to check, this is my fourth number, right? This is my decreased number. So after this point I will also move forward, but I'll just look for the smaller number than this. So why? Because if you need to reverse your subarray, if you need to reverse, this is your subarray, like x, y, and z, right? If you reverse that in order to make it sorted, then this number should be in decreased mode. For an example, if it's like 45, 60, and 100, if you reverse that, okay, it's already been sorted, but if you reverse that, it will be not in sorted, right? For an example, take this case, 60 and 15. If you reverse that, can it be sorted? 50, 15, 16, and 45, it cannot be sorted at any point of time, right? But in this particular case, if you have this much case like 45, then 30, and then 20, if you reverse that, it can be sorted, right? So can I say, first of all, you have found up to which particular point your series are increasing mode. After very next particular point, you will find up to which particular point your series in the decreasing mode, so that you can reverse that particular point and you can make your array sorted, right? So for an example, in this particular case, up to this 5, your array is like your numbers are in increasing mode, but after that it is decreasing. You have to just check up to which particular point your array is decreasing. So you will find that 5, then after 4, 4 is less than 5, that's true. 3 should be less than 4, that's true. So up to this point your array is decreasing, right? Okay, you have to just take this index and this index, right? है ना? Yes or no? If you just reverse this two, then your array is sorted. Can I say that? So in English language, like in pure language, what would be my first step? What would be my first step? My first step would be, I will find up to which point my array is in decreasing mode, right? Okay. First of all, I'll find what? I'll find what? My up to which point my array. What I did find first, up to which point my array is increasing mode, right? So I'll find up to which particular point my array is incrementing the values, right? Yes or no? I did the same now. Okay, I did the same here, right? What I did next? What I did next? I did that. Okay. After that, I will find that up to which particular point my array is decreasing value. My array is like decrementing the values, right? So in this particular case, I found that after 5, my array is decrementing the values till the value 3, right? So now in the second step, I'll find up to which point my array is decrementing values, right? Right. Basically, is at this particular point we will check, like up to this particular point, up to which particular point my array is decrementing the value, right? And after this, if my like this last index is equals to my array dot length, then can I say I can sort my array, right? Right? Yes or no? I hope you are with me right now, है ना? Right? So I said that after, like, first of all, you have to find up to which particular point your series is in the increasing mode. You have to take that index, suppose let's say I. Okay. Okay. Now after this you have to check up to which particular point, after this you have to check up to which particular point your array or your series is in the decrementing mode. So let's say till the point j, right? Right. So if this j is equals to your length, then you can say your array is already be sorted. Like you can sort this array if you reverse this particular two. Yes or no? Okay, right? So this is your basic logic. Now the question is how to implement that logic. It's clear to everyone? Logic is clear to everyone? Why we are comparing with the length? So we are comparing with the length because, see, first of all, you have found the increment mode. After that, you have found the decrement mode. Do you have anything after that? If you take this I index, if you take this J index, you will reverse entire array in between of this. Then can you sort your array or not? Right? It's pretty simple, Nishant. Yes or no? That's why we are comparing with the length. Yes. I saw where I went wrong. Yes. This approach is clear. Okay. Now, let's see how we can implement that. Okay. I'll just tell you in the paper first. Then we will move to the code. Right. So now let me tell you that this is my array 1, 2, 5, 4, 3. Right. Okay. So now, first of all, my our step one was what? Up to which point our array is incrementing the values, right? Right. So first of all, we will check. We'll just make a for loop for. We'll start with the I equals to 1. I should be less than what? Your length, and I plus plus. Inside this, you have to check. Inside this, you have to check what? Your second element. This element, it should be bigger than this, right? So I can say whether my array of I should be greater than array of I minus 1. Can I say this? Can I say this? And that's what the incrementing means, right? 2 should be greater than 1 always to find the increment. है ना? ठीक है? So I will check this. I'll take this index I, right? I'll take this index I for every point of time. And after this particular point, if my I is equals to length, then can I say my array is already been sorted? Guys, please listen to me carefully. Huh? I'm not I will not spoon feeding every time. Spoon feeding every time, right? I hope everyone got this point what I just spoke. I spoke that I'm repeating again. I think everyone got this. That's fantastic, because I was expecting the same only. What I meant to say, like, our first step was what? Up to which point our series is incrementing mode, right? But how to find this increment, our series incrementing mode or not? You will find now that your second element should be greater than your first element. That means I have started my array with the 1, not from 0. Okay, so your first index is this. So I am comparing right now 2 is greater than 1 or not. Okay, similarly 5 is greater than 2 or not. 4 is greater than 5 or not. So suppose I'm getting every time this answer is true, and after this my I is equals to length. That means I have traversed through every other element, and I found that every the second element is greater than the first element. Can I say my array is already been sorted? I need not to do the reverse thing, sub array reverse thing, right? True, right? Okay. So if this particular case, if this is the case, then I can say like my array is already been sorted. But if not, what I need to do? Suppose, let's say, I like, in this particular case I will stop from this point, right? Because after this I will get for false answer. Okay, so this condition in this particular case, it will not be true, right? Because 4 is not greater than 5, correct? So it will break up to this point, and I can say my I is equal to what? 0, 1, 2. Okay, right? Because since we are doing the post increment, my I will be not be 2, it will be 3. Yes or no? Yes or no? Okay, if you are clear with this particular point, let's code this up to this point only. Okay, let me show you. We will break our problem, and then we will find the solution. Okay, let me share the Mozilla screen, just a second. Okay, let me know once you can once my screen is visible to everyone. Okay, it's visible, right? Okay, fine. So we'll just write the boilerplate code first. Do you know what is boilerplate code? So boilerplate code is something like this. So if you have to declare a function, then you will write this function, then your function name. and this brackets for arguments, and this for logic. So this is something known as a boilerplate code, which is known as a common code. Okay. So if someone will ask you that you have to remove the boilerplate code, you have to reduce some boilerplate code. Whenever you will come across the term called as boilerplate code, it should be clear, right? Yes, boilerplate code. No, boilerplate name, boilerplate. Let me write it. Boilerplate code. Okay, fine. So I eventually just spoken this. You did not to know it at this particular point, but if you know this, then that's good. Okay, fine. So I'll first declare my function. Let's say if I will check, I'll just write my function. It was what, check reverse. Okay, in the argument, I'll just accept my array. Right, this is my function. Okay. Now after this, I have to declare my function also. Let's say where array is equals to 1, 2, 5, 4, and 3. This was my question. Correct? Correct? Right? Whenever I will write this where, the ring should be no there in your mind. That's something wrong. Okay? That guilt, I can feel that guilt. I should feel that guilt inside you whenever I'll write this where. Don't say yes, okay? Because it's like very irritating. Like where is very irritating. है ना? Initially, I was writing where because I need not to refresh the page every time. I shown you in the previous lecture, right? If any point of time, if I am writing where, just ping me up. All right, just nudge me. I'll correct that. Now, anyway, so I have declared my function. I have declared my function. Now I have also initialized my array also. Now I'll just check whether this check reverse of my array. If it's returning me true, from this I'll return true or false. Okay, I'll just return true or false from this. Okay, if it's returning true, then I will print console dot log yes. Otherwise, I'll print console dot log no. I hope this syntax is clear to you. We learned this. We have no studied this, right? This question mark and this one. What does it call? What does it call? Kernel operator, right? Yes. So if I need not to write this, like if I say I don't want to use this ternary operator, right? So in that particular case, your code should look something like this. Let me take this out so that I cannot. Okay. You have to put this particular case inside the if. Okay. If your check reverse will be answering your true, then your answer would be what, console.log yes. Otherwise, in the else part, it should return no. Okay, it will look something like this, right? Okay, but since it's only like one particular statement in if and else both, I'll just use ternary operator. Okay, that's the reason I use the ternary operator, right? Since I'm returning true here, what should be my output? Okay, if it's true, like I'm returning true, that's why it's returning me yes. If I click on this false, if I'm returning false, then it will return me what, no. Okay, I hope this is clear to you, everyone. Will you remember that? है ना? Okay, so that's the reason why we have spent some more time into the learning the basics. Okay, so that we can use here. Anyway, we don't need to, we just need to check if the decreasing order, yeah. Like I don't want to get array in the sorted mode. I just want to check whether I can sort, whether I can reverse this subarray, then I can get my answer, or my I can get my array in the sorted form or not. I just wanted my answer in yes or no, and I don't want the entire array. Okay, all right. So now in this particular case, in the check reverse, I'll just first of all I'll just take the length of my array. Let's say length is equals to array dot length. Cool. Okay. Now, I will just first check whether this length is equals to 1. Then I can say my array can be sorted. Okay, my array is already been sorted, so I can return true. Yes or no? Yes or no? Right? Can I return true if I just have only one element in the array? We have discussed this in the previous problem of the 0 1, if you remember. है ना? We taken the smallest value first, we solved that, and then after we move to the bigger thing, right? we taken the smallest example first, like say this one only. If this is only having this one, then it will anyway, if you reverse this one, then you can sort your array, right? It's already been sorted. Okay, that's why I'm returning true here. All right, for this case. If not, if your length is not 1, then I need to do something extra, right? So what I'll do, what was our first step? I'll find up to which point, my array is incrementing values, right? Right. So in this particular case, I will just do what? I'll just initialize my I variable. Okay, I'll just do what? I equals to 1. I'll start my loop with I equals to 1. I should less than length, right? Okay. Also, also, your second element should be greater than your first element. Then let's say I can say like this. If I'm starting with the 1, then can I say my array of I, that means right now my array of I is what? 2. It should greater than what? Array of I minus 1, that is your zeroth element, that is your first element, right? Every time it should satisfy this condition, right? Right. And I can say after this, after doing this, I should do I plus plus, right? Can I do this? Okay, yes or no? Huh? And after executing this particular for loop, I just need to check whether my I is equals to length. If this is true, if this is true, then I need to do what? Return true, because my array is already been sorted. If I have, like I already told you now that, see, my this is my zeroth index, it's my first index, second, third, and fourth. Okay. After executing this particular for loop, if I'm getting that I have traversed entire element, why in which particular case I will traverse this entire element, it should satisfy this particular scenario. What is this scenario? Your second element should be always true, should be always greater than your first element. If this is true, then can I say my array is already been sorted, right? This has been discussed up to this point. Yes or no? Right. After this, if not, like let's say in this particular scenario, my this is not sorted, so it will break internally, right? So I'll just print it out the value of I after executing this line. Okay, after executing this line. Okay. Okay, let's do this. So see, it's returning me what? 3. So after 0, 1, 2, 3, can I say after this particular 5, my array is decrementing? Can you see this? Can you see this, guys? So Nilanjan, whenever we are executing any kind of for loop or while loop, we need not to write every time the, like I need not to initialize this body, because what I have to just check now that whether it can traverse to entire array or not. So why I need to no or write my body, right? That's why I return the semicolon. Okay. Okay. I have printed the console.log I here so that I can find with up to which particular point, like 0, 1, 2, up to 2, my array was incrementing. Since it's post increment, that's why it has incremented the value and it has made the I from 2 to 3. Correct? Okay. So I have just printed I just to know. Okay. Now, now after this particular point, I know that I have found my first step, up to which particular point my array is incrementing the values. Okay. Okay. So it is returning me for 3 here in this particular point, right? Okay. Now after this particular point, I will just find basically that up to which particular point my array is decrementing the value, the step 2 of our point, right? So I'll find up to which point my array is decrementing the values. Correct? Okay. Right. Okay. Okay. So guys, you have doubt in the for. Okay. If statement inside the for loop, yeah, it will not matter at all. You can also do in this, like you can also do in this like this. If you have doubt in this, then you can just remove this, but I'll not prefer to do that right now. You have to learn this syntax also. What is this syntax? This syntax is nothing but, see, in your any loop, what should be your 3 criteria I have taught you? First is what? Initialization. First is your initialization. That means up to which point your loop should start. Second is your condition, up to which point your loop should execute. Okay, your condition part. So in this condition part I have put the two condition here. First condition is your loop should run through entire array, that is your length. Okay, and second condition is, if any particular point of time, if my second element is not greater than the first element, let's say if in this particular point, okay, I have found that 4 is not greater than the 5, so I should break the loop. It has break the loop now, and it has printed 3, it has not printed the 5 here, right? Okay, you can omit this particular body and you can just put semicolon here, that is indicating that you are just meant to find the index. Okay, I just need index, I need not to do anything in this particular loop. Okay, so why should I initialize my body and I should write my if condition inside that? Okay, if this is not true, then it should not go inside that, right? Okay, now in this particular second step, I'll find up to which particular point my array is decrementing the values. Okay, okay, so basically I'll check like up to which particular point it is decrementing the value. If yes, then we will move forward. Okay, so let's say in this particular case, and yeah, the main important point here to note is, right now we are at, my I is what, right now my I is what, 3. Okay, so can I say up to this particular 2 index, 0 1 2, my array is already incrementing, right? So I need not to traverse through this particular point. So when I should start, I should start with where I stopped previously. Okay, so I'll initialize my j with I, not from 0, because I know that this point need not to cover. Okay, from the from the particular point where I was broken, right? So in this particular case, I'll initialize my j with the I, and I'll run another loop. In this particular point, my condition would be what? My j should less than length. Okay, it should run like remaining the loops from 3 to entire thing, whichever I have, right? And another thing that I have in my condition would be what? Since I'm meant to find what? Decrementing values, that does mean that your second value should be less than your first value. Okay, so can I say my array of j should always less than my array of j minus 1? Can I say this? Hannah? Yes or no? Okay, Suraj, so I was saying that previously you have find up to which particular point your array is incrementing the values, right? So you got Dipanshu. Shouldn't that j, okay, let me clear this up. Okay, first, so previously we have found up to which particular point your array is incrementing the values, right, Suraj? So you got that up to value 2 your array is incrementing. Since it was the post increment, you got the value of I as 3, correct? Okay, so now I meant to find up to which particular point my value is decrementing, so that you can take those increment value where your loop was broken, and you can take your decrement value up to which point it will be gone, and you will just reverse that particular thing and you will sort your array. That is your logic, right? So I need to first find now that you have find the first particular point, let's say your index 3. From this index 3, you have to find up to which point your array is decrementing the values, right? So that's why I have started with the where I was stopped. Okay, I stopped at value 3, because after the value 3, 4 was not greater than the 5, so that I was stopped, right? So I will find from this index where I was stopped, and I will go up to which point my array is decrementing. That's what my aim is, right? Got it, Dipanshu? Okay, right? So Dipanshu, it will be not I minus 1, it will be j equals to I only, because it's post increment. You can see here, it is not giving me the value 2, it's giving me the value 3, right? That's why I have printed the console here, correct? Cool. Now, since I am working with the decrementing values, I will check whether my current value, this is my current value, 3. Okay, it should less than the of the previous value, because previous value would be greater than this, right? Because it was stopped here, correct? Okay, so if this is true, then we need to find once again whether your I is greater than 1. I should always greater than 1 here, and also you have to check whether your array of your current value should be less than your I minus 2. How many of you guys got this particular point? How many of you guys got particular point? If this is true, let me take this. Okay, this is true. Okay, if this is true, then you have to return false. That means this should not be true at all inside this particular loop. If this is true, then you have to break your loop. If this is not, then you have to do your index plus plus. Na? And after that, similarly to this case, you have to check. Similarly to this case, you have to check whether your j is equals to length or not. If this is the case, then your array is already been sorted. How many of you guys got this particular point? Not got that? Okay, Dipanshu, I'll repeat that for you. Okay, so what I just spoken is you will initialize your value from where you stopped, right? You had this condition to find the decrement values, right? Inside this if condition, this I should always greater than 1. That is but obvious, that is common sense to everyone, right? This condition is what? Your I is right now what? 3. This j will be taken. This j will be incrementing for every time, right? This is j plus plus. Okay. Okay. So now you will check whether your array of j, that means your array of 3. What is your array of 3? It's 4. Okay. 4 should be less than your 3 minus 2. That is your first index. 4 should be less than 2. If this is the case, then can you say that that your array cannot be sorted at all? It is the same case as for an example, you have this array like 1, then 7, 5, 4, 3. Take this example. Now suppose you are right now at index 3, index number 3, let's say 4. Okay, so 4 should less than I minus 2. What is I? It's 3. So 3 minus 2 is what? 1. So add your array index 1, it's 7. So if this is satisfying, can you make anything to this particular array and can you make this sorted? Reverse anything you want and make this sorted. You cannot, because this 7 is bigger number, right? Everything with smaller number. Correct? Right? Okay? So that is why we are checking one step prior also, that in this particular case our array is sorted or not. Okay? Okay, that is why we are checking that. And if this is true, then we will simply say your array cannot be sorted at all. If this is not true, then we'll just increment in the values and we'll check for every values after this. For every values after this, we'll check it should less than this. It should not less than this. Sorry, it should not less than this. Okay, every values from this, it should greater than this for every time. है ना? And after this particular point, if you traverse your entire array, let's say your j equals to length, then you can say you are safe, your array can be sorted, so it's returning me true. Got it? Yes or no? But we can sort this array. No, we cannot. Which particular subarray you will reverse and we will make this sorted? Please tell me, Ikta. Reverse from 7 to 3. Okay, okay, so okay, so yeah, you can reverse that. But what if you have this particular thing, let's say 2? Can you sort this particular array now? Can you sort this now? No, right? है ना? Okay. There's again one more catch here. I'll just tell you in a while. Let's see how many of you guys can catch this. Okay. So right now it will return true. If it's equals to length, then it will return true. Okay. So now I'll just run this out. Okay. I'll just run this out, and whether we can see whether we can sort this particular array by reversing any of substring or not. Let's run this. Okay. It's returning this 3 because we have console out this. Let's remove this. Let's check once again. It is returning yes. Everyone agrees with me up to this point? Line number 9, if statement isn't inside the loop. It should not inside the loop. Rupesh, it should not inside the loop, because we are checking after the loop also. We are checking after traversing the loop whether we have traversed entire array or not. Right? Got it? Yes, Mac, please ask. There is a catch here. Please ask whether you can get it or not. Let's check. Up to this point, sir, why we you have closed for loop for in the top itself? Okay, so I'm repeating once again this. Explain line number 9. Okay, fine. So many of you guys have doubt in this line number 9. So guys, let me tell you. Suppose guys we have this example. Let's say 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, okay. Let's understand from this example. You will enter in this array. Your length is 4. You will execute this array. Basically, you are checking up to this particular point. Your array is incrementing the values, right? You are starting from index 1. I should be less than length, and your second element, since we have started with 1, your 2 should be always greater than 1, your 3 should be always greater than 2, your 4 should be always greater than 3. Okay. Now in this particular point you have traversed through entire array. So can you say your array is sorted or not? In English language I have explained right now, not from coding language. Can I say है ना Mac 9, right? So that's what I have written here. What I written here, that I have traversed from each and everything. I have traversed what I just spoken in English language, that 2 is greater than from 1 or not. That's what written here. Array of I is greater than I minus 1 or not. Let's say this is my first index, so 2 is greater than 1 or not. Then I have checked 3 is greater than 1 or not. Sorry, 2 or not, right? Then I will check 4 is greater than 3 or not. And I will check whether I have traversed through entire array or not. How will I check? I will check for the length of I, right? I'll check the value of I. If the value of I is equals to my length of array. For an example, after this first iteration, my value of I is what? 2. After the second iteration, my value of I is what? 3. After this fourth iteration, my value of I is what? 4, right? So since my I is equals to array dot length, can I say my array is like I have traversed through entire array and I have found that every second element is greater than the first element, right? It will go till 4, na Mac. You can see here your every element is greater than your first element. So when this array will anyway return true, this condition like this, after this loop condition, you are checking, you are checking, you have traversed through loop or not, through entire element of array or not. Can I say this, guys? Everyone, it will stop at 3. No, we are not. I should less than length. I should less than length. Yeah, 3 should be less than 4, but length is 4, na? So it's true. It's true. 3 is less than 4. In case of Mac, in case of 3, it will not stop, right? Nishan, that's what I'm explaining till the first point of time. Okay, let's say I can do this also. Okay, let's, if you are not getting this particular point, let's remove this. I can do this, right? Okay, inside this, can I do this? If this is the case, then I will make this. Then in this particular case, I have to traverse like whatever I have written. It is meant like this, but I need not to do anything inside this array. I need not to do inside this array. I'll just have to increment my value of I. How many of you guys are getting this? Can you please return array? No, we are not supposed to return array, Yunus. Getting this, Mac now? Cool. Nilanjan? Yes. So that's what I return here. I need not to do anything inside this loop. That's why I have taken this if condition here inside the condition only. Can I do this now? Can I omit this particular loop? This is the optimized way to write. Yes or no? Right? I just have to increment my value of I only. That's all. Can you please print the revised array? No, we are not supposed to reverse our array, Priyanshu. We have to just check whether we can do it or not. That's why I have written true or false only. Okay? Like if it's not sorted. Yeah, I'll come to that point, Mac. I'll come to that point. But up to this point, am I clear? Why it's returning me yes? Yes or no? Then I'll just give you another example of this. Okay, now let's say for an example. Okay, sir, would you please try with 1 2 5 4 3 6? 1 2 5 4 3 and 6. Okay, so please observe here. Observe here. Can we do reversing first or not? Please check manually. Yes. Okay. What do you think? It will run or not? I was coming to that point only, Dipanshu. That's great. You have catch that. Okay. It will give us a result. No. Okay. It will give us a result. No. We have to modify something else after this also. We have just checked for the last element of array. We have not checked middle of the thing, right? So see here, we are reversing the this string, not the entire thing, right? Till now we have reversed the entire thing. You know? Right now we are just reversing this string and you will get your output. Yes or no, Dipanshu? Right? You will just reverse this string 3 4 5 and you will get your output. Everyone agrees with me, right? Okay. So after this particular point, if since it has written no, since it has written no, that means it will break inside this. It has break inside this. Now it has written false. So let's check what was the value of our j here. Okay. J will not, this condition will not entirely true, right? Because it has not traversed through the loop. Why it has not traversed through the loop? Because we are checking to the decrement values. Okay. But right now after 3 it is incrementing, right? Correct. If you check that, you will have value 5. At the value of 5 it was broken. You are getting some point, you are getting some insights or not? We have to check something else also after this, after doing this. Okay, first of all we have checked where our I was breaking, right? Then after we have added our j loop. Now our j loop is also breaking because after the after the decrementing values, at some point of time it is incrementing, right? Correct. Glitch has been cleared. What was the catch here? It was clear. Everyone, why it is returning me true? No, right now at the value of 5 it is breaking, right? Okay. Now what does, like, now what we are supposed to do now? uh, we have to find the last incremented part. Now in this particular case we have found that after the value of 5 it is not returning us the proper value, right? So to handle this, what we will do, we will just take this out value j and will assign it to k. Okay. Okay. Now in this particular k loop, we'll just find first, without like executing the loop, we'll find first whether our uh, array of k is less than array of I minus 1. How many of you guys got this? If this is, if this is true, then we have to return false. Yes or no? Yes or no? This is the same case what we have checked here. Yes or no? Take your time for 1 or 2 minutes and take your time. Just check whether this is true or not. Like this is if this is true, then you can say your array cannot be sorted at all. This is a case where you will find the value something greater than this here. Yes or no? For an example, right now we are at k array of 5. So it is array of 5, that is what, 6. So 6 should be less than, and our I was breaking at which point? 3, right? For those who are not remembering that, let me do that. Okay, so I was breaking at 3, j was breaking at 5, right? So we are checking of 1 minus value of 3. Let's say 4, right? Sorry, 5. So 5, right now our value of array of 5 is what? 6 should be less than 5. If this is the case, then your array cannot be sorted. This is the same case like this. Can you sort this array? Can you sort this array by any chance? No, right? So that is why we have checked this condition. If this is condition, if this is the condition, then your array cannot be sorted. So we have returned the false. But if this is the not, if this is the not the case in this particular array, this from this value it will not execute. So it will, this condition will be false. It will not return false here. if it's this condition is not returning the true output here, we have to just executing one more loop similar to the previous case. K should greater than 1, and K should run till the end of the loop. Now, and from each of the value we have to check whether your current value, that is my array of k should be less than my array of k minus 1, right? It should be like your previous value should greater than the next one, right? So you can find again the incrementing mode. It's, if it's the case, then you have to return false, otherwise your k plus plus. This is the same case what we did here, but with the different values, right? Am I getting the point? Am I clear up to this point? And if not, after executing that, we have to just return true for every cases. If you run this now, if you run this now, you can see it's returning me yes. Previously it was no. Got it? Okay, guys. Easy na? Ekta? Yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that. No worries. I'll check in that. Okay, I'll commit the code today. Okay. Now, can anyone tell me the output of this? Can anyone tell me the output of this? That suppose, for an example, if I have my output, if I have my input as let's say 1 2 3 4, and after that I have some random values like 29 8 and 45. Let's say for an example I'm taking, so let's say I'm writing that 1 2 3 and 4, and then after I have 20, then what 9 8 and let's say 45. Can I sort this? Can I have this output? Can I sort this one? Please see carefully. Can I sort this one? If I reverse this subarray, can I make my output? है ना? ठीक है? So it should return me true here, right? Let's check. Okay. And yeah, one more thing, if you observed, I have checked every time where my I was breaking, where my J was breaking, and then after I made the logic based on that, right? So please make that habit to console every time. Okay, console. It will improve your troubleshooting and debugging power, right? And yeah, how many of you guys are keeping touch like almost one time in a day uh, are in touch with the TS? How many of you guys are utilizing the facilities of TS? Dipanshu? Yes, daily we are watching doubt session. Okay, but you are asking your doubts or not? Are you asking your doubts or not? That will be much more helpful to you, huh? Okay, everyone doing that? Everyone doing that? Atish, that is not the excuse. This is not the excuse, right? You can also keep in touch with them like from on Saturday or Sundays. Like on weekends they are available, right? I think so. है ना? So like many guys are already working, Atish. Okay, so if you have to improve, if you have to grow in your particular career, you have to spend some time. Okay, so I would highly encourage everyone, please utilize the facilities of TS. Okay, but how can this be sorted if we reverse 9 8:45? No, we need not to reverse this, Ekta. We have to reverse this 29 8. Okay, okay. Now, okay, now if I will say, uh, okay, that's all. Like every test case would pass from this, and I can say like this is the question from lead code. Huh? So all those guys who don't know what is lead code, let me copy first this 25 and I'll just paste it out. I mistakenly taken this as a text file. Please understand this is a JS file, okay? Or else I'll rename this as a JS file. Okay. Now, what I was saying that uh just a second. This question is from lead code. This question is from lead code. Those who don't know what is lead code, please try to explore that. Please try to resolve more problems from that. If you observe that you cannot resolve any point of time, you are stuck or so, you can also watch videos of that particular problem on YouTube or in the lead code website also. You can also try to get some more problem from Geeks for Geeks. This is also one of the great website. Okay, Stack Overflow also, you can find some more problems. Okay, I have done in different method. I have kept in Slack. Okay, Likit, I'm not in a Slack group. So sorry about it. Okay, I'm not in Slack group. Anyway, so for everyone else, have you tried to explore what is lead code? Did okay, okay. So try to resolve more and more problems from lead code, from Hacker Rank, from Geeks for Geeks. I think you all know what is this website I am speaking out right now, right? Geeks for Geeks and all. Okay, from that you can find similar problems like this, that will, like, you can also brainstorm in the group. You can also post your problem and post your doubt where you are stuck in the group. You can also brainstorm and you can also discuss the ideas with your mates and TAs, and then you can find a solution. Okay, okay, this is not a process of one day. This will take lots of time, and after, I think so, 1 or 2 months, you will be that much of groom and that much of fine tuned that you can solve any problem in this particular problem. This kind of problems will look like piece of cake for you. So I hope, am I making sense, everyone? I'm encouraging you, everyone, highly, every day utilizing TS. I cannot tell you, like, if I have this facility in my days, I cannot tell you how many times I have nudged them, I have forced them to solve, to help us. Okay, because, and try to resolve problem in group, not like individually. That would be much more helpful. Okay, if you can form a group in Slack, try to discuss more problems in that. You can have much more clarity in future. Try to solve the pattern problems as well. Okay, solve every pattern problems, no matter what. Right? Am I making sense, everyone? Right? Okay. Okay. So now, and yeah, try to ask them, my code is optimized or not. After the end of the day, it's not only about the output, right? You know, you already know about it. Code, how much important the code quality is, right? So try to tell them that, please evaluate my code, it's optimized or not. If any point of time, if any scope of improvising in that, please tell us. Tell them that. Tell the TS like this. Okay, they will help you, right? Okay, so yeah, I know there's a dinner break time. Okay, we'll take the dinner break and then also we'll be back and we'll solve the problems that we already discussed in the previous sessions. Okay, this was the new problem in this session. After this, we'll solve some more problem which is discussed and not. Okay, take a lecture on time complexity. Yeah, it will be covered in the future, Adish. It will be covered. I know that it's remaining in your class. Okay, it will become in the later on classes. Okay, in the next week, the total orientation, like total focus, will be on the advanced concept of JavaScript, such as closures, then higher order functions, recursion, all that, all those kind of things. Recursion and all we have seen in the detail, but we will see again, we'll solve more problems with regards to recursion, the higher order problems. Then I also told you the closures, the hoisting. These are the problems and these are the topics which would be asking, which would ask in to you every interviews. Okay, none of the interview will be taken apart from this concept in JavaScript. Okay, Yunus, if there is a question on time complexity, then you can ping Anshul that that is not covered in your class deck. Okay, that is not yet covered in your class deck. If this is covered, then I'll take that. No worries. All right. Okay. Likith has post a code 543 string SS. Nikit, first of all, please try to give a function name suitable. Okay. SS I cannot understand from this particular function name. This is not a proper way to write your code. Right. Let force equals to 0, I equals to 0, array dot length. Okay, I plus plus. Okay, so are you able to are you able to pass entire test case of what we have just discussed? Like we have taken 5 or 4 examples of test case, right, in our code. If you can, then I can say like your code is looking good. No much optimization scope in here, apart from the naming convention. There is something known as naming convention for your information, right? This is something known as your naming convention. Convention, that means your rules or the what we can say legacy. Okay, what we follow in that. Then console.log, and yeah, every time if you commit your code, try to remove the console.log. Console.log is for our purpose, for everyone else, right? So if you commit any code in any repo, try to remove all the consoles. Am I clear this point? And try to remove all the comments apart from the usual comments what we are meant to discuss. Let's say in here, if you can see my like the screen of Mozilla, then we have commented this out for information, right? So apart from information, if I have any, apart from this, if I have any like such kind of this information like 1 2 5, this doesn't make any sense, right? So you have to remove those comments. Apart from the information, remove every comments, like this one, like this one. Okay, remove every comments whenever you commit your code. These are the points which will be helpful to you in the corporate section. Okay, if we are working in live project, this kind of information would be much more helpful. I am pretty much sure like of those people who are already working in the corporate right now, they are aware about it. Am I right or not? There are some people in here in this class, those are working in the really good organization, right? Okay, so okay, fine. Okay, so this was all for non-tech people and tech people. Try to work hard in that particular case. And right now we are taking break for 15 minutes. We'll be coming back at 9:45. Okay, so we'll be taking break till 9:45. Take your break, take your dinner, and come back. Not bike, tha. I will I will be coming back after 9:45. Okay, I will be taking dinner. Okay, so take your dinner as well. We will be coming back and we'll be meeting at 9:45 exact. Okay, good. All right, welcome back. Welcome back, guys. Hello. Have you taken your lunch? Sorry, your dinner. Welcome back. Have you all taken your dinner? Right? ठीक है. So now, so from this second half would be entirely oriented to the more like whatever we already know. Right? We'll not learn something new from the second half. We'll revise and we'll recall what we have already learned. Right? So please be attentive in this because I'll be asking a lot of questions to you now. From that, you can judge yourself. You don't have to tell me that you are practicing day to day or not. From that, you will realize that you are on right track or not. Okay? Okay. So I will be asking a lot of questions to you in the second half. All right. So now, if you remember, if you remember, then around in the initial lectures we have learned something called as break and continue, है ना? You did not miss anything, Ekta. We have just started. Okay, so I just spoken out that in this first half we have learned some examples, some problem in the first half, but in the second half we will not learning something new in this. We will be, I will asking you a lot of questions. From that you can judge yourself whether you are on right track or not, whether you are practicing enough or not. Right? Okay, so we have learned in the initial days of our classes what is the break and continue, right? I hope all you remember that. Okay, so let me ask you one questions output. Okay, let me go in the Mozilla. You don't have to write in the like in the chat section. I'll be asking you and you will be the one who will tell me the output, right? Tell me. Just a second, I'm sharing the screen. Okay, now. Okay, so you can see the screen now. Okay, so for an example, wait a minute. Okay, so now for an example, okay, yeah. So you have something like this. Let's say for I is equals to 0, I should less than 5, I, I plus plus, right? In this, I'll just printing out console dot log I. Okay, okay, yes or no? Okay, this is just a simple statement. Yes, right. Let's run this for now. It will return me as always 1 0 1 2 3 4. But what if I'll just do if my I is equals to 0, then break. Okay, right? What will be output in this case? What will be my output in this case? So Eunice is saying 0, others are saying no output. Manoj 0, Mag 0. Okay, let's see. So now, first of all, tell what significance of the what do you mean by break? For those who are saying no, nothing, and for those who are saying 0, both of them should answer me. What do you mean by break? What is the significance of break? What do I mean by break? Exit from loop immediately. Correct. Great. Okay, so let's say if I have I equals to 0, I'm entering with the value 0. 0 is equals to 0, then I'm exiting the loop. है ना? So if I do this, can you see any output? There is no output, right? है ना? Now instead of the break, if I do continue, what will my output now? What will be my output now? Everyone, I want answer from everyone. 1 2 3 4. Let's run this. 1 2 3 4. Right. So this is the basic significance of break and continue. है ना? But now For an example, if I have this j is equals to 0, j should less than 5, and j plus plus. Inside this, I have this, and outside of this, I'm printing console.log I as well as j. What should be my output now in this particular case? What will be my output? Every what will be my output in this case? Come on, come on, come on! I want answer from everybody. Everybody, none of you should not answer. Okay, I want answer from everyone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 0 to 5, 0 to 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, undefined, 0, 0, 1, 0, 2, 0, 3, 0, 4, 0. Okay, ठीक है. Okay, so let's see first the output. It's like 0, 5, 1, 5, 2, 5, 3, 5, 4, 5. How many of you guys, like, I haven't seen this answer in the comment section. Right now, just Ashwin has posted the answer. But apart from that, I cannot see any answer like this, right? Let me scroll up. No, there is no answer such like this, right? So everyone was wrong, right? I think so. We did similar problem in the past, if I'm not wrong. How many of you guys got the logic? What is happening inside this? So it's basically like this one, huh? Like this. Why it's printing zero? You tell me. Continue just exited from J loop. Is it so? Its scope is in J loop. Got it? Ideally, I thought the console statement were outside of the outside loop. No, it's inside this for loop. Because if is equals to 0 after continue. Okay, let's debug this. Let's debug this. Okay. I hope I should debug this, right? I should debug this, or you have got the answer. Mahek, just for your reference, for this particular curly brace, like in this particular if statement, I just have one statement, one action to be executed. That's why I can omit this curly braces. I hope I have taught you this, right? For everyone, and I taught you this, right? So if you have just one statement, then you can omit this particular curly braces. If you have learned right now, just remember this. Am I okay, Mike? I mean, got confused. Okay, okay. Now let's the debug this. Okay, so right now my first value of I is 0. I'm entering in the I. So okay, just a second, just a second. I'll just show you something else, something really cool. Okay, I'll just show you something really cool so that you can troubleshoot or you can debug really well. Okay, let me share this one. Okay, wait a second. Cool. Okay, so can you see the output, see the console screen of Chrome, not the preview, right? So if I just paste it out my code, if I just click on enter, and if I just do my screen as big one, you can all see my screen right now. Okay. For just a couple of minutes, okay, just do one thing. Let me do one thing, okay, so that I can see your comments as well. Let me make it big. Okay, now you have initialized your I variable. Let's say I have my I variable here, and here somewhere I have my breakpoint, then watchers. Let me do like this, just a second. Yeah, Can you see this watch? Can you see this watch? Everyone, can you see this watch? Okay, this watch is nothing but uh, at each and every point of time, if you want that, if you are so possessive about this particular I variable, okay, you are so possessive about this I variable, just as your girlfriend, that you have to watch this particular variable, what is happening inside this, okay, how this variable is changing, right? Okay, so just like this, you have to watch this, okay. So in this particular watcher, this is something known as watcher. I hope everyone can see this watcher. This is something known as watcher also. You can see it, everyone. Okay, so inside this you can see this plus symbol. This plus symbol, you have to click here. You have to enter your variable. I have entered my variable I. Okay, you can see the your variable of I right now is 0. Yes or no? Everyone, Ekta, Dipanshu, right? What I did right now. Okay, so I have just entered the new variable like here. Okay, it will be storing the value of current I. Okay, right? Right now my j is not initialized, that is why I cannot enter j here, but after I will do that, I'll enter j also here, right? So after each and every execution, you can see the runtime value of j without hovering over test over that, right? Right now I can just see of this I value if I just hover on this, right? It's so irritating, it's so boring, right? It is lagging your troubleshooting, like it's lagging your debugging speed also, right? I hope, am I clear up to this point right now? This particular thing I'm teaching you because this can be helpful to you in later on classes, from the later classes. Okay, let me go further. Okay, I have my j variable. J is initialized with the 0. Let me add j also. Okay, I have clicked on this plus symbol. Inside this, if it will ask to enter your particular variable name, I'll just enter j. Okay, can you see it's also 0, everyone? So it's pretty cool to see your particular runtime variable uh, parallel to the execution, right? Let me go further. So right now, what is the value of I? It's 0. So it will what continue, right? It will continue. Continue means what? Continue means what? What is supposed to do? What is supposed to do in just one word? Skip. But what skip? Next iteration. Correct. That's what I wanted. Okay. So with that's great. So it will just keep the current iteration. The current iteration is what? Of the I and j equals to 0. Yes or no? What I just spoken is correct or not? I have spoken that this continue will break your iteration of j as well as I. It is true or not? It will break your iteration of j only, or I only, or I and j both. Tell me. J only, both, j, j only. Okay. Okay. ठीक है चलो. So like okay ठीक है चलो. Let's see. Okay. Let's see what it breaks, right? So it has broken the statement or the execution of I, sorry, j equals to 0, right? Now my j's value is what? 1. I's value is still 0. So can I say it has broken the execution of j only? Correct, right? Okay. Now let's move further. Now my j's value is what? 1. I's value is what? Still 0. It will continue, right? Continue means what? It will break the value of j at iteration 1, similar to the 2, similar to the 3, similar to the 4, right? Similar to the, it will now break, right? After incrementing, it will break, right? It will print what? 0 and 5. Right now my value of I j is what? 5, right? Now my I will be incremented. Note here, note here that my j is still 5. It is not reinitialize. It will reinitialize once I'll get through this. Okay? So now my j is also reinitialized. Since my I is not 0 now, I is what? 1 right now. This is 1, right? So it will continue. It will not go inside this, right? It will increment the value. It will not go inside this. Increment value not go inside this, right? Similar to the I and j. It will print. Similar to the 2, 3, and 4. Everything will be printed out. Can you see 0, 5, 1, 5, 2, 5, 3, 5, and 4, 5? Am I clear up to this point? Manoj, at which particular point you want me to explain? Can you please brief me out? Manoj, is there? Okay. I equals to change 0, 1b4. What does that mean? 1, 2, 4, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. What do you mean by that? So I'm just repeating it again for you. What I meant by that is, if you have I equals to 0, j equals to 0 initially, whether I equals to 0 for entire loop of I, let's say 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, it will enter in this particular loop, and it will enter in this particular if statement. It will continue. It will break current execution of j, so it will not uh, print, or it will not execute any statement of j, because j will be at the end of the day j will be 5. Okay, because none of the iteration would be get executed. After that I would be incremented. So at that particular first iteration you will be printed out this 0, 5, right? Because I will be 0, j will be 5, right? After the first iteration your I would be incremented, let's say 1. It will not go inside this anytime. Similarly it will be incremented 1, 0, j to the 0 to 4, and it will enter in this particular statement, right? Okay, so it will print what? 1, 5, similar to the 2, 5, 3, 5, 4, 5. Correct? Yes or no? These things, this kind of things would be asked in your interview as well, like basic interviews, or else your aptitude as well. Okay, it could be asked. Yes or no? Am I clear up to this point, Manoj? Everyone? So the thing to learn here was the breaking continue, and the second was what? The watcher. What do you mean by watcher? Right? How to debug value parallelly with the watcher. Right? If you have more variables, then it will be much easier for you if you know the concept of watcher. How much time it will get for this problem? It will be asked manually, not no. If you don't have to produce this output, it will not get asked that you have to produce this output. You will just given this kind of question like MCQs and this kind of thing, you know, and you will be asked the output. So runtime you have to debug in your mind, not in from the computer. Okay, on paper you have to debug, right? Like it's pretty easy, right, to debug on the paper. I already no taught you many times how to do it on the paper. You have to initialize a box of I, box of j, update the value of j and I every time, right? Okay. Now, so that was all about this particular break and continue and watcher. Okay, I explained this concept out of the box. It was not on the class text of today, but I thought that it will be much helpful to you, so I taught you. Now, second thing that I want to explain today is, can you tell me, sir, somewhere I heard dot slice today. Okay, yeah, I'll explain that. I'll explain that dot slice. I think I have explained that in previous class. Yes or no? Slice we have explained or not? Yes. Okay. Anyway, I'll explain that. I explained that today also. Okay. Now, my question is, mm, have we solved the question related to the pyramid in the pattern, or else can I have we solved this kind of question? It is pretty easy one, right? Like this one. For I is equals to 5. This question, right? This is pretty easy, much like pretty easy, right? It's piece of cake for everyone. You can also solve this in your dreams, right? I know. Okay. Now, now I just have to add something here. Like you can print this. Okay, let's do one thing. Just print this out. Okay, let's just print this out in 5 minutes. You can do this. Can you do this? Can you print this out in 5 minutes? Then after I will add something here. Okay, so that you can add in your logic also only. Okay, you have your code ready in your particular code. Okay, I'll give you the 5 minutes only. Right now it's 20:06. I'll just give you time to 20 to 12. Okay, I want this output, not logic. Logic everyone knows. I just want this output. Okay, after 5 minutes I want this output. I think so. You can do it, right? So after 5 minutes you have to produce this output. I cannot send it. I think so. Let me try. No, I cannot send image, but you can figure it out. Like what I mean to say, right? You have to print this output in 5 minutes. You can take a snapshot also if you want. Okay, five, four, three, two, one. Take your snapshot, and will be beat at 2012. Sorry, 2012 with the output of this, right? 2012. Okay. Have you all taken the snapshot? If not, let me draw it. Oh, Chandrakant, really fast. Okay, you have to print this one. All right. I can see many people have solved this already. Cool. Okay. So I anticipate that. Okay, let me do this. Okay, let me share my screen and let me show you the output also. Right. Let's see in the DevTools or else in this one. Okay. Can you see this? Okay. I'm not in mute. Subit. I think so. I'm not in mute. Okay. You can hear my voice. Okay. Fine. Okay. So see. Let me refresh the page. So see, basically I told you to print out uh, the left triangle pattern. This is something known as the left triangle pattern, right? So what I'll do, I'll just initialize my n is equals to 5, right? After that, I'll just let initialize my string is equals to empty. Okay, then after, I'll just do what for I is equals to, or else I can do that also. Like let I is equals to 1. I should less than my n or equals to n, since I have started with the 1, right? I plus plus. Then I should do what? I should initialize another loop with the j, right? So with the j, I should start at what? With the j, I should start at what? In the left triangle, I should start with 0, right? And I should go up to which point? N, sorry, I, or else I can also start with 1 and I can also go equals to here. Okay, anyway would be fine with you. Okay, and j plus plus here. All right, and after that I will just append my string plus is equals to star. That's okay. There's no sense of adding the space here because it would be get automatically be stored, right? And also I have to append my slash n also, okay, for new line. Cool. And after that, I need to do what? Console.log. I need to print my string. Okay, that's what I want to do. Okay, that's what I want to do. It will generate my output. Correct? Right or not? Okay, let's do this. So it has generated my output, right? Okay. But now, so since we have already been solved this, right? For those who had not solved this particular thing, for those I had already be solved that. Now what I need to do, since I have printed the left triangle, now I want to print the Pascal triangle. That is something known as what the Pascal triangle, or else we can also tell that at right Pascal star pattern. Okay, right Pascal triangle. That's something similar to this, like this one, this one, this one, and this one. Okay, okay. This is something known as your right Pascal triangle, right? Forget about this one. Can you print this out for me? The exit reversing what you just did, right? What changes you have to make in order to print this? What changes you have to make in order to print this? This is like reverse left triangle pattern, right? Okay, okay. So what kind of, or else it can also say like downward triangle star pattern. You can also say like this, right? Okay. So in this particular case, okay, let me share my screen. In this particular case, okay, this is my developer screen. Okay, just tell me what kind of things I need to change here. I have to change something here, and this output can I can make. What are those things that I need to make? Let's do that. If you cannot, just reverse the logic which we need. Okay, do one thing. Do you need some time for this, like 2 minutes, or else just tell me what kind of changes I need to make? I equals to 5 j. Okay, let's do this. I equals to 5. I should greater than 1. Okay, that's cool. I minus minus, and start with row equals to phi. Okay, let's do this as phi. Here also I need to do phi or what? J equals to 1. Okay. J equals to phi. J less than greater equals to 1. J minus minus. Here also I need to do the same or what? Same, right? Okay, let's do that. J equals to phi. Then J is just a second. J is greater than what? J is greater than less than. Can anyone tell me the proper solution for this? Can anyone tell me the proper solution for this? Only for I, not for J. Cool. Okay, everyone agrees with this statement. Okay, so and many of you guys are telling me just to for do for the J only. Okay, let's do this. Okay, let's check it. Let's check now. Fine. Just printing but not printing the last thing. What thing we have missed here? Right? Okay. Instead of phi, let's make it n. Okay. Okay. Is it fine now? It is fine now. Yes or no? Okay. But now what you need to do? What you need to do? You just need to combine this pattern that we already did in the earlier. You need to do also combine this method, this particular triangle. Can you do this? Right? Just combining the both the loops, and whenever you are making this loop, just omit this first line, है ना? So start with loop with the n minus 1 instead of n. Yes or no? Right? I hope you can all do this. Pretty simple, right? है ना? Everyone, right? Ekta, Priyanshu, Dipanshu, Nilanjan, where are you? Where are you guys? Yes, Priyanshu, Mac. Okay, ठीक है. So now what my question is whether we have solved this pyramid problem or not. We started with this pyramid problem, this one. Just a second. Let me share one note only, na, because this is not my cup of tea. Okay. Now now in the pyramid problem, we had solved, I think so, this one, 1 3 2 3 4 5, right? And similarly 1 3 5, then now 7, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, right? Okay, this kind of question we have solved. Yes or no? Yes or no? Right? And we had also solved this combining this two. Yes or no? Diamond problem, correct? But now the catch here is, sir, what if I want to print numbers instead of stars? Okay, okay. What if I want to print the numbers instead of the stars? Can you do this? Can you make it or not? Yes or no? Like instead of the numbers, you have to, like instead of the stars, you need to print the numbers. Let's say the row number. Okay. So if I'm taking the example of this lower half, okay, this lower half, then what I need to print is, suppose if I'm working in this, then I need to print this 1 2 3 4 5 6, right? Then after I need to print 2 3 4 5 6, right? Then after I need to print 3 4 5 6, right? Then after I need to print 4 5 6, then after I need to print 5 6, and then after 6, I need to print this kind of logic. What I can do, So if you observe, then we have not changed anything, right? We just put the numbers instead of stars. Correct? Yes or no? Yes. In place of star, print I or J. Can you do this? Priyanshu is absolutely right. Absolutely right. Absolutely right. I'm pretty much happy with this. Right? So you can print this or not? You can print this or not? Right? So first of all, if I'm telling the steps, then first of all, in the like we have to make the outer loop for the rows. Okay, for the I equals to 1 to the whatever rows we have. Okay, like let's say 1 to 6 in this particular case. In the inner loop, we have to first print the spaces, right? We have to make the logic for this particular spaces that we have here, right? Okay, the spaces logic is already been discussed to you. है ना? In the particular loop 2, you need to print the numbers instead of stars. Instead of the stars, previously we had print the stars, now we need to print the numbers. You can get it by the variable number j, not the I. Okay, and you need to just append with the new line. Am I correct? Am I making sense, everyone? The steps are clear. If you just print instead of stars, if you just print the variable number j, you can achieve this, right? Okay. Now, since this is also being clear to you, now tell me whether we have discussed this or not. 15201. If I have this number is as my input, I need to take as output as what? 5689. I need to have my output as 9. We have discussed this or not? 1 plus 5 plus 2 plus 0 plus 1. Fetch the individual digit of the last number and append it into the sum. Right? So how to what will be my solution of this particular thing in two lines? If I need to find the solution of this in two lines, first of all, how to fetch this last digit? How to fetch the last digit? Yes, whatever your number modulo 10. Through this you can fetch the last digit. After this, suppose we have fetched the last digit from this 1. Okay, you have stored in the sum. Okay, now you want this 0, right? You want this 0, so you have to remove this 1, right? How to do that? Divide by 10. But whenever you are doing dealing with the division operation, what you need to make sure, this will be in the fraction, right? Percent. Correct, correct. Okay, great. Absolutely right. Very nice. So we need to do percent, right? If to do this, your number would be now 1520, right? Again, you need to repeat this process. Okay, fetch 0, append the like 1 plus 0 now. Okay, you need to repeat this process until your number is greater than or equals to 0. This will condition will be true. Okay, or as we can also say like where or until your number is equals to 0, you need to do this process. Correct? Yes or no? Right? Now, okay. So now we have also discussed about, like, I think on the Sunday or anything else, I am not recalling that, like in your class or not, I'm not recalling that only. Okay, anyway, suppose if I have the question that we have already solved in the previous class in your batch or not, let me remember. Okay, okay. Suppose if I have numbers such as in my array, I have number 10, 50. No class was on Sunday. Yes, not on this Sunday. Okay, you had no class on this Sunday. Okay, fine. So probably you're not on your class. So 10, 50, 100, 250, and 0. Just tell me the optimum logic. I'm repeating myself. Not logic. Tell me the optimum logic to find max and mean. We had discussed this on the last lecture, if I'm not wrong. Yes or no? You have to tell me the optimum logic that we have discussed in the last lecture. Can anyone tell me? Okay, ठीक है. So sort function, linear iteration, ekta if length is equals to 1, then return same values for both. Was started with this. We started with this, yes, but where we have ended with this? We have started with this, that's correct. Sort in reverse. If I don't want to use the sort function, two pointer approach was this one or not? Ice, have you have like practice on the last lecture? Have you seen the last lectures? Priyanshu, you were there on the last lecture, as far as I remember. What would be your logic? Okay, I'm giving you 2 minutes. It's 12:28. Just I'm giving 2 minutes, 12, 20, 30 to think about it. Okay. Then after I'll tell you. So this is the power of taking notes. Okay. If you have taken notes after the lecture or between the lecture, then you can just quickly recalling by just seeing the notes that this was discussed at all. Right now. Anyway, make a habit of this form from now. An array of size 2 similar simple loop and compare with each value replacing min and max after the loop, assign min and max and return. Okay, cool. ठीक है एकता. Fair enough. Vaibhav, compare mean and max with ith current one and updated in the new max and mean for the loop. Okay, ठीक है. Yeah, you can post Vishal. You can post your code, but I don't want the code actually. I want the logic. Okay, the logic is like similar to the what Ikta and Vaibhav says. Vaibhav, I think you also suggested the solution of this. Not this one, right? You suggested for 0 1, if I'm not wrong, right? I remember you. That was a cool solution, by the way. Okay, fine. So in this particular case, what we'll do, we will just make this one as mean, make this one as max. We'll traverse through entire array. We'll check after this element. Since we have traversed this two, we have made one mix, one mean, one max. After the two second element, we will check whether this element is less than this, then this will be our new minimum. If this element is greater than this, then will be our new maximum. Similarly for everyone. And after traversing everything, we will return mean and max. This we did. Yes or no? Yes, Mac. Somewhat like this. Correct. Okay. So since this is a special class and we have some bandwidth right now, I am recalling everything what we have discussed. What is important, right? The next is the one of the guy has just asked me about the array methods. Okay, we have many methods in the array. If you know, then first of all we have sort. In the particular sort method, it will accept a function, right? In this function, it is called as a callback function, right? What is callback function? So callback function, that is like if any function, this sort is also a function, right? This sort is a function or not? Sort is function or not? Okay, don't confuse between in this. I'll just tell you after 5 minutes. Okay, since my sort is my function, now listen to me carefully. Listen to me carefully. Sort is function. Inside this particular sort, it is acting what function. Since we did this sort, we taken a b. If you want in ascending mode, then we did a minus b. If you want in descending mode, then we did a comma b. This arrow function, b minus a. This arrow function is clear to everyone. Now let me also tell you what is arrow function. This arrow function is nothing but the replacement of our original function. You have to just make this arrow. Inside the left hand side, you have to write your arguments. In the right hand side, you have to write your logic, right? Okay. This is the simpler way to write your arrow function. Since I have just in the logic, I just have one statement. I need not to write return here, and I need not to do the curly braces here. I hope am I clear up to this point, right? You can also write like this also, right? You can also do like this, return b minus a. Since you just have one line, you have to omit this particular thing. It will just left with the b minus. Okay. So this sort is accepting what? The function, correct? Yes. So now remember, not remember, just understand that any function accepting another function, then this another function is what? It's something known as a callback function. Okay. So this particular thing is called as your callback function here. Okay. So anytime if I'll tell you that this is a callback function, then immediately this things come up into your mind that it should accept in some other function, right? So this sort is my original function. Inside this function, I am passing another function. That is why it is something known as my callback function. We will learn this in detail. Also, the higher order function in the next week. Next week, we are starting with advanced JavaScript concept. Okay. In that, we will learn this callback function, higher order function, the closures, and the debouncing, all this kind of concept we'll learn over there. Okay. Okay, but right now I like this thing. I think so. Some of you guys have asked. No, I think so. Yeah, I was mentioning this particular sort method. That's why I accepted. Like I explained this particular callback function, right? Okay, this is just a term. It's just a term. Okay, so you can, if you are reading through the document also, you will get to understand what do you mean by the callback function, right? Am I clear? Okay. Now, can anyone tell me what does this slice do? Instead of that, let me just open the Chrome. Okay, let me open the DevTools of Chrome. Now, now guys, see, can you see the console of this particular Chrome? Can you see the console of Chrome? Now, if I have my array, let array is equals to 1, 2, 32, and 54, right? Now, in this array, if I do array dot slice, to do this, see, in Chrome, it is telling you that what is your start index and what is your end index. What does this mean? What does this mean? Suppose for an instance, my starting index is 1 and my ending index is 2. If I do this, what will be my output? Only 32, because see Vaibhav, the last index will be omitted, right? You have to consider is n minus 1, right? For an example, again, if I have this one, 5, 82, 98, and 54, 5, 2, 52, right? If I just do array dot slice 2 comma 4, 2 comma 4, okay, what does it mean? What output it will get? So this is my zeroth, first, second, third, fourth, and fifth. What is my output of this 2 comma 4? 54 and 5. Nana, why it's 54 only? I told you now that whatever your last index is, you have to consider is minus 1. Okay, so it's considered as 2 comma 3, right? So you can see here it's giving us 40, 54, and 5, right? Okay, now, so this is the method of my slice, right? Okay, Now another thing is, so whenever you are confused, what does some method do? Let's say what does this sort will do, right? So you have to just open this and just wait for it. So see what does it mention? Compare function, right? So you have to pass a function. It is indicating na this sort function is accepting what? A function. It's like a help method, like a guide of your array methods, right? Yes or no? Hello. Cheat code, correct? ठीक है. So that is why I prefer Chrome apart above everything, right? Now, so this sort is already being discussed. Now if I do array dot, let's say if you just do na array dot, you can see this particular methods also. See here, there are many methods: concate, constructor, copy within entities, every field, filter, find index, find last index, flat, for each, includes, index of, ठीक है, join, keys, last index of, map, pop. Okay, so you mean like you know the difference between push and pop? How many of you know the difference between push and pop? Everyone knows. So what does this push means? Pop means delete element, and push means adding the element. Okay, so pop means delete element, but from which side? My array. Suppose my array is this. Now which element it will delete? One or 32? One or 52? 52. Correct. Last element would be deleted. And if I'll add some element here, so where it should add, here or here? Last. But what if I want to add some element before one? Okay, that you need to find in the homework. Okay, homework is clear. Array dot push will add some element after this 52, but if I want to add some element before one, then what I need to do? Okay, that is your homework, right? Right. Now now I'll discuss something else which is super important. So now let me see what I have. Okay, fine, yeah. So suppose I have something like this, that this one, this will be more suitable. Okay, suppose I have this one, this tree. Let's say I have my uh, input as 5. I have my input as 5, and I need to print uh, the left Pascal, or I need to print the hollow diamond. Hollow diamond is discussed in your class. Hollow diamond pattern is discussed in your class. All hollow pyramid is discussed, I think so. So many times, right? Hollow pyramid and hollow triangle was given homework. Yes. Hollow triangle. Okay. Okay. So if you know this kind of patterns, then I think so this is more than enough. And try to print the numbers also. Okay. Instead of stars, try to print the numbers also. Right. Now I'll just give you one problem. That will be our final problem of today, I think so. uh let's say if you have something like this. No, I have this one. I'm writing here. Okay, Priyanshu. So I have some array like this: 32, 50, 4, 1, 2, 80. Okay. Now I need to fetch the elements which is even in the new array. What I need to do? Filter. Correct. Now tell me what do you mean by this filter? What do you mean by the filter? We learned this in detail, right? To segregate the values according to a condition. Okay. Filter the array on condition. Okay. So can I say like this array dot filter, it was accepting a function or not? If you remember. So now if you connect the dots, then this function is called what? Callback function. Correct? Right? Okay. Now, if you just let me share my screen again of Chrome, I'll show you something else. Okay. Now, can you see? Just a second. Just a second. I need to share the entire screen. Okay. Can you see my whole screen right now? Right. So now, if I just go here and if I just run that, if I just search that filter array. Okay. This is my first this Mozilla. This is your guide. Okay. This is a Bible or Gita or whatever you want. You know, if you just try to read here, read from here. See in the parameters, what does this accepting the callback function, right? Okay. This function is a predicate to test each element of the array, returns a value that codes, that means that is matching to true to keep the element or to false otherwise. Okay. But if you don't know what is callback function, you will get confused, right? That is the reason why like I explained right now. Okay. So you need to read from this also. Okay. This is a documentation. Okay. Here some examples are also being given. Okay. So you have to read from that. You can also pass your array like this also. Okay. Instead of array, you can also pass the entire array like this. It will generate the new filtered array similar to the prime numbers also. Okay. There are many problems here in the MDN site. Am I clear? Am I clear, people? Similar to this, you can also search for something called as map. If you remember about the map, okay, what does the map did? Okay, if you see here, wait a minute. Okay, see there. So this for each, if you just work with the for each, then it will accept a callback function. This callback function is a key and it will iterate to every other element. For an example, we have taken the example of they have not mentioned it. I don't know why. This is map object, I think. So this is not our map. Yeah. Let me method, not map object. We have to see the map for the map of method, right? Yeah, this one. Okay. This is your error.prototype.map. Those were the map object, right? Those were something else. Now in this one, see, this is my callback function, right? You can also learn here. This is my callback function. This function, that is like whatever you will pass inside this function, this function that is been called for every element of array, each time this callback function executes and returned the value in the new array. This is simply written, right? What we have learned in the previous session. Na? Yes. So map would return you like Subir is asking the difference between map and reduce. Can anyone help him? What is the major difference between map and reduce? This has already been discussed many times, right? It's a basic. Reduce does what? Map will return you what? Entire new array. Reduce will return what? If you don't know, reduce will return single output, right? That's what I meant. Okay. Reduce will just return one data, right? Map will return entire array after transformation, and reduce will just return single aggregate value. That's perfectly fine, Ekta. Right? So this is how you can also read from this particular or documentation. So for this guy, I don't know who has asked this question. Who has asked this question? Subit, right? Subit, if you no confuse in the future, like we forget sometime. I think so. Everyone forgets at one point of time. You have to just go to here at this MDN site of developer.mozilla.org. Inside this, search whatever you want, like reduce, right? So read here. The reduce method executes a user supplies reducer callback function, right? Callback function on each element of the array in order and passing in return value from the calculation of preceding element, right? Remember we have learned something called as current and accumulator. Yes or no? Okay, this is my previous value, that means my accumulator, this is my current value. So we did many operations like this, right? And this is my initial value, it is accepting two values, right? I told you first is my function, then the comma, then we did in the previous session like zero in the sum, right? So it is my initial value. I hope you all are clear with this. Shubham, in the prototype, what is prototype, will learn in the next week, don't worry about this. Okay, so this is how you can also read from the documentation. That's what my main intention right now. Okay, first I explained what does this particular method did, then I explained how to read from this documentation and get through it. I hope am I clear up to this particular points? For every points am I clear? Okay. Yes, Priyanshu, Dipanshu, Ekta, Mehak, Nana, right? Cool. ठीक है. So try to read from the documentation as well. Okay. Don't rely on every time. Like no, I have seen many developers. If they stuck somewhere, they will just find that solution on the Stack Overflow site. Okay. Don't do that every time. You have to do that, but don't do that every time. है ना? Just first learn from the documentation. Like what does this method do actually? है ना? At some point of time, you will know something. Like if I give an example, then reducer method, for the reducer method, many guys know that this reducer method, inside this it will accept accumulator and current, right? But what does this mean, they don't know. Okay, this is my argument of my function, right? They don't know about this one also. They just pass this reducer function as it is, as mentioned in the Stack Overflow. But if you know the actual concept of this, then you can, there is some scope of discussion also here. Okay, if you know what you're doing, then you can improvise. If you don't know what you are doing, then there is no sense to talk. I hope I'm clear, right? Okay, up to this particular point, am I clear? Any single point of confusion now? Cool, right? Clear. So on that note, uh, we'll stop this current lecture of today's, and we'll come back on Friday. On Friday, we have to also solve some more problems. Friday's class is also more oriented to the spatial class, like today's one, right? It's basically like today we solve problem related to the loops, right? On the Friday, we'll solve problems related to the arrays, and from the Saturday we will start with the 2D arrays. Okay, and I will continue that on Monday, and after the next Wednesday, we'll continue with the advanced JavaScript concept that I had discussed today. Am I clear? Right? Okay. So now today we did what? Today we did this points. Today we did first the reverse subarray problem, pretty easy. Then we did what? Pattern problems, many pattern problems that we did, like like Pascal triangle. Then we did the pyramid, right? Then we also did the same with numbers, right? I have shared my screen. Can you see my screen, Suraj? Everyone, can you see my screen? है ना? Okay. We use arrow functions for simple logics, but for more complex logics, we should use normal ES6 functions, right? So, okay. Ekta, this arrow function is a example of ES6 function. So I got a problem. let me continue with this. I'll just get back to this in just 2 minutes. Okay. After this pattern problem, what we did, we we revised the sum of digits problem, revised that. Then we did revise the maximum and minimum problem. Okay. Then we saw some array methods. We learned today about the watch or watcher. We also learned today about the basic of callback function that we already let that we also look into it in the next previous, or sorry, next week, right? So that's all that we looked upon it today. Now in the next lecture we will solve problems with array. Okay. Basic problem solving or advanced problem solving with respect to the arrays. So whatever we have discussed, like this kind of problem, this is considered as not basic, this is considered as the medium problem. Okay. This is not a basic. So we have level up some level up we have seen in the problems, right? Okay. So Ekta, now coming to your problem, coming to your thing that, let's say if I'm sharing my Mozilla, right? So let's say if I have my array like this, 1 2 3 4. Okay. I need to find the even values from this. Okay. So this is like array dot filter. Inside this, what I need to do, so let's say I'll just explain you in with two ways. Okay. Function find even, it will accept my value x. Inside this I'll return x modulo 2 is equals to 0. Correct? Right? I can also pass this here, find even, right? Like this. Let's see what will be my output. Will I'm holding this in a new array. Okay. For an example. And if I'm just printing out console.log this new array, okay, let's see what will be my output. Can you see it is printing correctly 2 and 4. So I can also write this like this. So suppose for an example, I my requirement is what? My requirement is console. I need to print the value of x also, and I need to return this also. Can I do this here or not here or not here? Let's suppose I need to I'll just take this out, copy this here. I just make it like arrow function like this. This you already know. This thing you already know, right? This thing you already know. Let me check. 2 and 4, right? But what if that I need to print something here also? Can I do this or not? Can I do this in filter? Since filter is doing what? Generating new array, right? It will be like hurdle for them or not? Let's check. Okay, let's check. Let's check. First of all, can you please guys tell me? Can I do this? This is correct or not? Right? Let's check. It is printing now also correctly. Let's refresh the page. Let's check. It's printing now correctly, right? We have just add word return and this curly braces, right? Now let me add something here. Console.log x. Can I do this? No. Yes or no? Can I do this or not? Ekta says yes. Subir says no. Everyone else says yes. Okay, let's check. See, it is printing my every x element that is not checking here. Okay, and it is now also like returning the new array to here. Okay, and now we are printing the new array, right? So Ekta, whenever you are dealing with only one line, at that time only we can omit this particular thing, this calibraces and return. Since here there is more than one line, that is two, you can also do anything you want here, you know, and you can write many lines here also. Okay, okay. This is also syntax of arrow function that is which is introduced in the ES6, right? Yes or no? Ekta, you got my point now. I hope I have answered your question. I think so. That was your question, right? Ekta, are you there? Got it? Okay. So we can write asymmetric logic. We here, yeah. Inside this particular curly braces, you can write anything. So you can also think like this, like this guy says, who Ashwin. Okay. So in this here, you are passing a function only, right? This is a callback function only. So inside the function, you can do whatever you want. It just need to return a array. Okay. It just need to return a array, new array, right? That will be handled by this. I hope am I clear, everyone? Right? That's good question, by the way. Okay, so we have also revised the arrow function and filter method a bit, right? So till then, I'm ending the class now. If you don't have any other doubt, then okay. Until then, take care of yourself and revise the concept. And yeah, one more thing, please keep in touch in each and every day with the TAs. Ask your doubt. Don't sit quiet, okay? Because you have paid your precious money. You are investing your time. This is like almost 11, right? So you are also working hard. So why not to utilize it in the from the next level? Okay, try to produce 10x from what you have paid or what you are investing. Okay, you are not investing your time, like you are not just investing your money. You have invested your time also. Okay, because every week you are investing like how many hours, like 5 into 3, 15 hours, right? Almost 14 to 15 hours, है ना, of this particular my lecture. I don't know about the TA's lecture, like okay. So you are investing those much amount of time, money, your family time also. Okay, you are also ruining your family time, your dinner also, right? So try to invest it in a way that it can produce like a 10x result for you. Okay, why not to place in some good MNCs like Google or Microsoft in that particular point, or not just like think about like job purpose. You can also think about like making something better, right? At the end of the day, developing is something like resolving the real time problems, right? So if you learn the concept properly, if you learn the DSA properly, you can solve each and every problems that you are facing, right? So that's all for today. I hope that helps, right? So let's take the final poll for today, and we'll meet on the Friday, right? And till then, if you have like, I'll also share this particular code of today's lecture, and I'll also commit my code, right? Right? Cool. So we'll meet at Friday. Till then, goodbye. Okay. Good night. Yeah. Have a great day. Oh, that's great, Chandrakant. Keep practicing. All right. We'll meet on the next lecture. Yeah. Bye, Ashwin.